Welcome to Kenneth O'Neal's Word of the Week. Each week, Kenneth will discuss a word which describes a principle or value of the qualities of success. Use the word of the week in your thoughts, deeds, and actions. You can replace a good habit with a bad habit. You can use it as an action step. Kenneth O'Neal will bring you a word of the week each week, and it will help you to improve your life, your relationships, your professional career, and your overall well-being. I know you'll enjoy Word of the Week with Kenneth O'Neal. Kenneth O'Neal is a certified Zig Ziglar trainer and the head of O'Neal Consulting in Kerrville, Texas. Today's Word of the Week is reciprocity.
And a beautiful Monday morning. It is going to be sunshiny and temperatures in the lower 90s. And that's a big one, as they say, because usually we're above 100 and stay there for several days as we go into August. It is Monday, and on Mondays we get a chance to talk to the incomparable wordsmith of the Texas Hill Country. Here he is, Kenneth O'Neal. Good morning,
Well,
Kenneth.
thank you for those kind words.
You only get them on Monday.
That's true. That's true. The rest of the time, all I get's a bunch of criticism.
Not really. I'm in jest, okay?
Okay.
So,
Well, I want to tell you, this word for the week, this week, is really and truly why we do this every Monday and share the word for the week, because we always suggest write it down, use it in the actions you take and the words you speak. And this is a great reflection word. And the word is reciprocity.
okay, and it's also a spelling bee word.
It is it? Yeah, I was
would
talking
hope
to
so, 'cause
somebody.
I don't even know how to start.
Okay. Somebody was telling me yesterday when I was talking about my word for the week is, and they said, that is a good word for the SAT. You remember when you took that? So,
Yeah, it was in stone, I believe.
Stone, you did it then with Moses.
Yes. That's when I took my SAT.
Okay.
And promptly,
Are you telling me you didn't get a 1600?
no, it was somewhere in the gravel pit.
Oh, okay. You had the wrong rock. Okay,
Pretty
but
much.
this is all about thinking of, and reflecting upon your actions, your words, and your deeds.
Thank you.
And the question is, why do we do what we do?
Well, I can suggest a few.
Okay, I'm gonna be asking for your input in a minute.
No, you probably won't, but that's okay.
So, it is the mutual exchange of privileges and actions or favors between people or a group, or where giving and receiving are balanced with expectation. And it comes from the Latin, moving backward and forward or alternating. Okay, the idea. Remember, probably back when you were first married and everything, and somebody would invite you over to dinner. And as soon as you got back home or later on, you'd say, oh, we now have to invite them over for dinner. Reciprocity. At its core, reciprocity is the moral or social obligation to return what you have been received. It's kindness, support, and it can be generosity.
It could be another word.
Go ahead.
No, it could be a negative.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
You know, we like to talk about the positive,
Well,
always
that's what I'm
looking for the
saying.
good.
Yeah,
but
exactly,
there
so.
are, and I'm going to talk a second about that, because the negativity of reciprocity can be huge.
Yes.
So thank
yes,
you.
it can. Well, yes, and the other flip side of that, say for instance, in your analogy, you go over and have a meal at your neighbor's house, and it was absolutely horrible. So you could invite them for a horrible meal at your house. So, see what I mean?
That never has crossed my mind. I don't know why you brought that up. The law of reciprocity, all right, is foundational principle in human relationships and all types of social behavior. When someone gives you something of value, so you get something, you naturally feel an obligation to return the favor.
Uh-huh.
All right? So the things that we think about, it's like we almost feel obligated to return the favor. And it's been in ethical teachings for a very, very long time. In fact, we might even think about, there are many, many positives that come out of, being giving and getting, and it builds trust and strong relationships. That's the first one. In other words, if you give and you get something in return, mutual respect, and you begin to really build deep connections with people. All right? So, one of the things we always think about is the golden rule. You want to be treated like you treat others. All right? So you want to be good, and we want people to return that goodness rather than going into some blame game or pointing the finger or some kind of drama. It increases your generosity, your kindness. Culture of giving, we've always been that way. Give, help our neighbors. Remember back reading, lots of things in the, 1700s, 1800s, early 1900s, out in the Midwest, somebody that said, I'm going to build a barn. What they do, they did a barn raising. Everybody showed up. Everybody gave of what they had. You get more influence and more leadership. People tend to follow people who are givers, people who are giving in life. You strengthen your communities, build up goodwill and cooperation within your community. All of that's very positive about this idea of reciprocity. Now, I always, in history, there's several people that I followed. I read everything I can about what they did, what they said, who were they, what are their character like. I love Abraham Lincoln for all he did. Benjamin Franklin's one of my favorite. Socrates and all those guys that were really old, that was even older than when you took the SAT. Okay? But so Benjamin Franklin, this is an example of reciprocity. He had an example where he said if he wanted to make peace with a rival, somebody that was against him, he would ask for a favor for that person who they were in disagreement. But he would say, can you let me borrow that book? And they would say, well, sure. So he would borrow a book. But then he made sure that he returned that book.
Well, yeah, it's the old, country saying, if the gate's open, leave it open. If the gate's closed, close it.
Right. And then your mother probably had a sign next to the refrigerator, right? Something like that.
Pretty close.
If you found it clean, make sure you leave it clean.
Yeah, along with a switch or a small belt.
Oh, that's... You hope it's small. So the law of reciprocity actually leads to the principle of sowing and reaping. Now, this goes back to if you're going to plant wheat, you're a farmer, what are you going to get? You're going to get wheat. You don't get watermelons, you get wheat.
Well, you hope for that.
Right. So in Galatians, in the Bible, it says what a man sows,
he reaps.
He also reaps. Got it. All right, so look at this word of sowing. It's giving, it's serving, it's helping, reaping, receiving, harvesting, and the blessings that come from the sowing. Now, reciprocity is immediate and it's a human standard. It's a social dynamic. That is it. I mean, it's kind of like we all pretty much know the difference between right and wrong. Sowing and reaping is actually a long-term thing, and it turns out to be a spiritual principle. So both reciprocity and sowing and reaping actually focuses on generosity and our mutual human exchange of giving and receiving. Bible, once again, it says it is more blessed to give than to receive. Boy, I love the way you're catching on. All right. Now, the modern
Read a little
understanding, we always like to look.
I've read some, but the big factor is I've been around a long time. So,
You get it. Well, it's a good thing that you
been around a long time?
No, that you concentrate on the good. Look for the good.
Well, it depends on the week.
The week. Okay. All right, let's talk about what do people in the modern world, what is the understanding of the law of reciprocity today?
I think we've lost it, but that's another issue.
We have lost it in a certain way, yeah. All right, so the modern understanding is give, get, and receive. So give with a generous heart. Don't do it for manipulation.
Yeah, you do things because you don't expect something in return.
Right. You give with a whole heart. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, and that's really generosity. That's
but
what that is.
Again, on the flip side, you'd be surprised how many people don't look at it that way.
Oh, no. Yeah, they're doing it to manipulate you, and you have to be very careful.
Well, then there's that.
But givers tend to get, and getting and understanding that blessings from your generosity often return through unexpected avenues. In other words, you might help your next door neighbor, but your blessing and the things that you receive from that
I have certainly
come from other ways.
Been the recipient of that.
That's right. Now, I think we all have.
And I'm grateful.
Right.
Very grateful.
Now, let's look at a couple of reflective questions.
Oh, good.
Think about it. Have you benefited from someone's generosity that was unexpected? I think that going through what we've gone through since July the 4th with the flooding and everything, I mean, the generosity, the giving. I mean, there's so many people that have stepped up.
Oh, yeah.
And not doing it to manipulate, not to get anything in return, but being generous and paying things forward. They've gotten blessings in the past, and now they're paying them forward. One of the major questions here, are you giving to grow and get better, or are you giving to get? Are you giving to grow or giving to get?
Well, I guess it depends on the individual. I've never thought of it that way.
Okay.
I do it because it comes from the heart.
That's right. Now, when you have a grateful, trusting heart, generous heart, you give without expecting.
Oh, sure. I mean, the expecting something in return never crosses, at least in my opinion.
In your mind.
In my mind, I never expect something in return.
Right, yeah. And
a simple thank you is nice, but I don't expect it.
So reciprocity is not just a social rule.
How many letters in that?
Reciprocity, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11.
See what I mean?
It's a good word for the spelling bee. All right, so a powerful virtue of what we talk about a great deal is this idea of your gumption, doing the logical thing, doing the right thing, getting started, putting forth a great habit. It builds bridges, blesses lives, and it creates legacy. A seed that is planted will return. That seed that you plant of goodness, kindness, and righteousness. And it might not always return in the kind that you gave, but it will always come back impactful. And of course, I'm going to finish up here with a great quote that Zig Ziglar had. You can have everything in life you want, everything, if you will just help enough other people get what they want.
Sure.
And so that means you've got to get to know these people. You've got to have connection with them, and you give. You give by serving them. That's your purpose in life. And, you know, just like the things that you do with the radio station, you're giving this information, you're sharing, you're bringing the good news. You've got great music here. And then in your work with the Dietrich Center, serving and helping those other people. I mean, all the blessings that you get from that, they're going to come from a lot of different ways. Like you said, a thank you is really nice, but, you know, think about the number of people.
I don't hang around going, are you going to thank me for this?
Yeah, no, you don't. We don't think about that.
I
That's
don't,
right.
I don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just, and I know of some people that use it to advance themselves. So.
Right, yeah. Some
And
people
that's
use it for
unfortunate.
manipulation, which is very, very negative.
So,
Well, thank you.
no, thank you. You can always chat with wordsmith Kenneth O'Neal at merger@windstream.net. Or
And they can call.
Or you can call.
830-285-7010. It's always on. Call.
And it's absolutely free. Now, you have your webinar or whatever
Yeah, the
you call it.
webinar's tonight at 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so...
And we talk about in depth a little more of the word for the week. Yeah,
That one?
that one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we talk about my book, The Circle of Gumption.
Uh-huh.
And then we talk about, I have a 13-spoke wheel of life under gumption,
Yep.
and we'll have a word and a virtue. It's fun.
It's fun. It's sort of like the Wheel of Fortune.
Ooh.
Well, it could be. Spin the wheel. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Kenneth.
Thank
Have a great
you.
week. We'll
You
talk to
too.
you next week.
Did
or
you know
someone-
next week it's August?
Yes, it is. Boy, do I know. And we'll meet right here. I
We
may
will.
not be here, but we'll
Okay.
meet right here.
And
all
it'll
right?
be a different word next week.
Well, I hope so, because although reciprocity is long enough, it could last a couple of weeks. So,
I can't believe you said that word.
see, I can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 8:32. It's 75 degrees.
Are you willing to support your community? Are you ready to make a
This is Tom Fox. I'm a co-founder of the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. If you've enjoyed this podcast and you would like to talk to us about getting your own podcast on the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network, we'd love to talk to you. So you can reach us at our website, through our website, the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. Word of the Week with Kenneth O'Neal is our latest podcast, and we will present Kenneth's word each week going forward. They will be insightful, they will be useful, they will be important, and can be a significant increase of all aspects of your life going forward. I hope you'll subscribe, rate, and review this podcast wherever great podcasts are listened to. This is Tom Fox. Thank you so much for listening.